Since we've been planning on going boost for Martin's G35, we are trying to prepare it as much as possible so we don't have to do any big swaps once we actually get the turbo kit. We were looking at new manifolds and we found the Kinetix manifold, which we've known about for a long time now, but we've heard from dyno sheets and from other people that they don't do good NA. I don't know if it's because of the shape of the intake runners or just the volume of air being pushed in isn't equivalent to how much fuel can be put out. I don't know the exact details, but Martin actually went ahead and picked one up for himself. Martin is actually here right now, but he has been sick for about a month now or longer, and every time he comes he has to take a massive, you guys already know what I'm gonna say. You okay there, little buddy? In the last video I was talking to you guys about getting a night runner flag, and I did end up ordering it a couple days later, and surprisingly it came in really quick. So shout out to Reggie, because I believe he works by himself and he's supplying everything, shipping everything, so that's really sick. And it just looks so good, and it looks good with the toolbox, especially when you go back and see just how clean and simple it is. And I am going to be painting everything black very soon. We already got the paint, actually, it's over there, and we're going to be painting this top portion black as well. I do have my certifications right here. We are going to be putting up the first designs that we ever released for shirts, and maybe we will drop them again, who knows. But we are going to be framing this, putting it up here, and everything's just coming together. We have some of our Hot Wheels up there, and I finally had time to throw the works back on my dad's BMW. I did sell him my Conze wheels, and they're actually up for sale if you guys want to buy them on E46s. For everyone that's going to be asking, the rear needs to be pulled and cambered a lot unless you have over fenders or an M3, because they're just too aggressive of an offset. It's not wide, it's just the fact that the offset's so close to zero that it just pushed out too much. But we had them on the BMW and they looked a little too small because they were 18s, so he took them off, and now we're back to running the work wheels, which honestly complements the car way better than the KNPs. Oh, what's up there, Maury?
Tired, my butt hurts.
You good, dude?
My butt hurts. Are you ready to do all the work? Just the flu. It's so weird because I had it like a month ago, a cold, and then like I had a cough for like 3 weeks, and then this flu kicked in, so my cough stayed, and I woke up, my back hurting.
Bro, if I get sick, it's your fault.
I'll kiss you right now.
Hey, easy. Oh my god, this is so heavy. He did get it from Z1 Motorsports. It comes with instructions. Nice.
I also got this spacer for the front. Oh, some hardware. Ooh. This I bought extra.
So, this is sick. Dude, that's so nice. Dude, the welds are sick, dude. A lot of people do like these just because the way they look, it looks really sick. It's kind of similar to like a turbo manifold, where it's literally just the intake piping and then it goes to each individual runner. And these are called runners, by the way. So it's going to be going to this, and these are going to be replacing that ugly thing that you see right there. But I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I'd rather have something metal, because most cars are plastic intake manifolds.
That's aluminum.
This should clean up a lot of space, so you can even get to the injectors too. Our current tuner is RZG Motorsports, and we are going to be sending them a data log of the car running with the new manifold, because it could be thrown off guard. And we can look at the air fuel ratios and see if everything's good. Especially with the UpRev software, we're going to be able to look at everything, and I can tell by short fuel trims and a bunch of stuff if it's running lean, running rich, and hopefully it isn't, because if it is, then that means we need to get it retuned. Or if Marion just wants to hang in there and if the tune's not that bad with the new setup, then we can just leave it until we go boost.
happened?
I told Martin, coolant's gonna come out of here. He said, you'll be fine. There is another coolant hose right there. I should have known that coolant was gonna blow out, but I just didn't expect it because since it was cooled down, there wasn't any pressure inside the system, or else I thought there wasn't. And normally when you remove a coolant line like that, it doesn't explode. It normally just comes out. But I think there's coolant circulating inside the plenum because there is mods to actually delete that and gain a few extra horsepower, which I really don't believe in. Now I just need to remove this portion of the plenum, which is honestly gonna be a lot easier. Yeah. Okay, we got the bottom portion out. Now you can see how big this engine is because the plenum hides all of it. In some countries it gets to super cold where the throttle body plate might freeze, so they use these cooling lines which heats it up. And honestly, if we really wanted to, we can delete it. Only reason I'm saying that is because there's a gasket right here, and this is already a gasket, so I don't know how it do against each other. So what I'm thinking is if we just got a connector, we can literally just make them run against or to each other, so it just flows through right here, instead of flowing through here, which might be that. More things breaking while we're starting to take things apart. The PCV hose that connects two banks to each other so there's equal pressure in each bank of the crankcase is really hard. When I mean hard, I mean like solid, so it just cracked off. So it's better that we're replacing everything now so we don't put it on and have any vacuum leaks. There's literally a rubber gasket right there for the injector.
Look what we found.
It's on and it looks very beautiful, but we're not done yet. Still need to put this bracket on right here. And this was, I believe, the hardest part, and it was actually getting to the bolts back here. And just a tip for everyone doing this, so you guys don't have to take it off again, put the washers and the Allen bolts on the back already while you're placing it on. Make sure not to drop it inside the runners. We got them in, and it's supplied with an Allen that tightens, and I believe you pretty much just have to hand tighten it, and as long as you're pretty strong you can get them down. I'm removing all the brackets that are already broken and just trying to clean up the engine bay as much as possible, and probably just clean it down and have Stephanie, since she loves cleaning, clean the engine bay. So we're going to be doing all of that and trying to make it look as clean as possible for a race car. My name's Martin. I don't care how my engine looks, but I'm polishing my intake so it's chrome. Look how good it looks with everything back on.
Hopefully it turns on.
Hopefully it doesn't start spewing out coolant. It should turn on. It turns on. How's the idle for startup? Normal, huh? Normal. It shouldn't be too much of a difference, dude, because people run it without a tune. So
they go full bolt on without a tune. So I think we'll be fine.
It's the coolant burning off. All the coolant fell in there, and now that it's turning on. Honestly, anything, it's running 16.7 to 1. That's ridiculously lean. I don't know if that's because it's warmed up. It shouldn't be running that lean. It is running very lean though, like very lean. Maybe on the dyno sheet you're gonna lose power, 5 to 10 horsepower, but that's not what's really gonna make a difference. But when he's driving, it is running 14 to 7. We're just gonna be going back home. It is Super Bowl Sunday, so there is a lot of people out, so we're not gonna be messing around. It's not safe. So we're just gonna be going back, and we are gonna be installing his wheel spacers, and hopefully we can fix the front fitment as well. But when it comes to the manifold, when we're driving, it is at like 14.7 to 15, and that's good. That's where we need it. But the thing is, when it's idling, it's acting like if there is a vacuum leak. Drives good. Doesn't idle worse than it did before.
It moves a lot.
Yeah, it changes. It's always changing. We're back, and now time to fix that. When we put the Yankees on, Maureen decided to get like the worst offset ever for G's and Z's.
You don't like offset?
What are you doing?
Oh, this stuff is great.
Still need another 2 inches, Martin.
Story of my life.
It does have negative camber. Once we get the front alignment dialed in, it's gonna push it out. So I won't even worry about it. But yeah, we definitely need more. But it actually pokes out now. But you can see, look how much camber it has. That's a lot of camber. Like, too much for this car. So we're gonna be getting rid of that. And honestly, by that point, it should pull out a little more, and then we'll know if we need bigger adapters. But comparing this to this, I mean, this is awful. Take off the camber and then we'll see what we need, because that's what you're gonna run at, 0 camber. Are you still sick, man?
Sick of you.
You good, dude?
No, I can't even breathe, dude.
It's okay. Shh, it's okay. Okay, while Martin sleeps, Stephanie and I are going to start prepping to paint the doors and the crown molding. So we're just taping the sides. You can see the old color was brown, so there's still brown from everywhere. So good thing we're gonna be getting rid of that as well. Even on the roof, look at that little spot. I don't think my wall's coming out good, Martin.
Keep the weenie wet.
No, you don't understand though.
I do.
No, look at it. It looks like a weird it looks like a wall texture when it's supposed to be smooth. And Stephanie's trying with the brush. We're not painters, Martin. Since Martin wasn't feeling good all day, hasn't been for a while, he just went home because it's getting really cold outside and he said he wants to go lay down. Everyone who sees this, go message Martin and say hope you feel better. A good note, Stephanie is done with one door. It's still drying, but it looks way better than I thought it would. Shout out to Stephanie.
Hit me up for your paint jobs.
Chavez even told me he wasn't sure about the black. Having too much black will kind of throw things off. And not a lot of people paint the actual door black, just leave the molding black. But just, I feel like it looks sick. I feel like once he sees it too in person, because he hasn't seen any pictures of it at all, I haven't posted about it, he should like it as well, because it gives a way better contrast. And once we start cleaning all this stuff off, we need to get rid of that chair that we've had in here for a while. This needs to go back to my dad's car, the convertible, because it has an internal leak from the rain. So we're trying to figure that out before we throw the seats back in there, just so more water could go in. It's not a good idea. But the last thing we're probably going to do, either today or next week, is do the top portion right here. And the floors, we might get rid of this because this doesn't match what we're doing now. So we might get rid of that, either leave it bare concrete, or I'm looking at the Swiss tracks, but those are just way too expensive. And honestly, when it comes to that, I'd rather just wait till I get my own shop to do that to, or my own garage, just because that's very expensive. You're gonna look at close to probably $2,000 just to do the whole floor, which is ridiculous. So I'd rather just leave it bare concrete, have that minimalist, very clean look, and just try to make it as clean as possible. Try to find ways to clean things up, organize. This is taking way longer than I thought because Stephanie is the only one working on it, and I don't want to mess anything up. I know a lot of you are going to be commenting saying should have just kept the plenum spacer and the lower manifold, but we're doing this because we're gonna go boost, and even if it takes a couple months to get boost, we're doing it because he wants to be prepared and he wants to make a decent amount of power on a stock block. Obviously not enough to blow it up, but we also wanted something to look good in the engine bay, and the engine bay does look way better. He's not trying to go for like a dress up type of engine bay, but I feel like him seeing how good it looks, it might make him want to. Only thing we noticed was the air fuel ratio on idle was pretty crazy. It was too lean. The next video for this channel is going to be about the IS300. And I got some more JDM parts. That's literally all I've been buying. And I also got some new calipers for the front off another Lexus. I know all you Lexus guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm pretty much halfway there when it comes to the parts for it. I already have the stainless steel lines, the roll center adjusters I put on order, so I'm waiting for so much parts this month, including my 09 control arms, and hopefully I can get the rotors for the brakes and all that stuff so I can push out another good video for you guys. But on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys on the next one.